Hello everyone, welcome to episode 29 of How to Play Like a WAP Pro. Today I'm going to talk about how to play Live Oaks from the north spawn in a heavy tank. So I've already made a video about Live Oaks from the north, where I play in the CS, and in that replay I took this position here. And I think that is a good play, but I'm going to show you something else that you can do on this map, especially if you're in a slower tank. And that would be to play in these buildings here and shoot heavy tanks that are going into the city. So just looking up at the matchup, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 heavies, which is a lot. So although 2 of them are crons, which are likely to go south, and maybe the chief as well, but at least some of these tanks, especially these 4, could be going city, and so going here to shoot them is not a bad idea, and I'll show you where I like to play. So when you get here, you have several options. Really, most of these gaps in between the houses work just fine. The reason why I picked this one is because you can very quickly just turn around and then come to this corner here and then shoot this alleyway once they get past this point here. So like you shoot them going across this field, then once they get around here, then you just drive over here and then pre-aim this and then shoot them again as they cross into the city. If you're in a light tank, I would recommend playing either this gap or this gap and using the bushes to help yourself spot them. The one bad thing about using this gap is that there's kind of a mound in the way, as you'll see. So you can only shoot them after they go past the mound. But it's also a little bit more safe from the TDs that like to play on this ridge, so there's just trade-offs, really. But as you can see, several of their heavy tanks are moving their way into the city, and I'm just getting free shots, which is really nice. Right there, I wait until his frontal hull is angled downwards so I can pen it. Although I think I actually hit his engine deck there, which is pretty lucky. But now that they've crossed the point where I can no longer shoot them, I'm playing here, and I'm just pre-aiming this crossing. It's really pretty straightforward, but it's a good position to know about. I'm trying to poke quick here. I could side scrape, but I'm worried about getting shot on the side. If I back up like this, I'm worried that there will be a gap in between here and I'll get shot from like here. I don't know if it's actually possible or not, but they also have an arty, so I just decided to poke regularly. There's not much space to side scrape anyways, and I don't think I'll get hit in return. So now at this stage of the game, ideally your team would be pushing through the city, and so yeah, I ping them. I didn't even know that I was going to do that, but yeah, I ping them to push through, because you want to kill everything that pushes in to the city and then push through and then get to this ridge here, because from this ridge here you can farm anything that plays in this area here. You can kill anything at this building if you have enough gun depression to play the ridge. And then if the enemy team starts winning the south and they push under here, then you can also get shots from this ridge down into here, which is oftentimes the case. Usually the south, well, I don't know if I should say usually the south wins the east side of the map, and then they push through. So that's usually what I would be trying to do at this point in the battle, but it's just not really feasible because they still have 2 heavy tanks who haven't pushed into the city. They're just waiting there. But if you look at the score, we're clearly winning this battle, and we're winning the south. So I can't just sit here and do nothing and wait for my team. I have to play aggressive. And I'll do an unconventional play here in a second. So if you're not able to push through like this, which I'm not really in this replay because I have two heavy tanks playing in this dip here, and I don't feel like pushing them because there could be a TD behind. What you can do instead, if you're winning the south, and that's only if you're winning the south usually, or if you have a lot of TDs behind you, is to push underneath like this. And it's not, you can't really do it if they have a light tank playing in here. But the reason why this is good is you can spot enemy TDs playing in this area and anybody playing here, and then you just basically fuck them. But here Leo gets spotted underneath me and I load HE and I'm just gonna kill him. It's pretty lucky that he came beneath me. And I high roll him twice as well. Actually, yeah, that's a high roll. Now here I'm trying to get unspotted and then I'm going to push underneath. And here I right click the map on the left side of this building so that I know where to aim, and I'm just gonna go for a blind shot. So as you can see, if I zoom out, my marker is perfectly on where their TDs are sitting, and I know that the grill and the 4K5 are there, so there's no reason for me not to take a blind shot there. And as a spoiler, I think I actually hit that blind shot, and I think I hit this next one too. Goes like perfectly exactly where I wanted it to go. I'm loading HE here. So once you get underneath here, the only real thing you have to worry about is getting shot in the back from this place right here, like right this ridge, I guess. So usually you're gonna want to make your way into here, like around this area, and then either poke up and shoot these guys, or poke up and shoot these guys, or at least just spot them for your team, because they'll usually overpoke and then get shot from your TDs sitting back. And as you'll see in a second, that's exactly what happens, especially since we're winning the south. They're just getting farmed by our team. But you will oftentimes get YOLO'd if you play this position, but I'm full HP, so it doesn't really matter. They can't YOLO me. There's nothing they can do about me at this point in the battle because they're losing so badly. And at this point it's just clean up. There's not really much commentary to add to this, to be honest. I just go for damage. I decided to go for the tanks instead of the RD because I might get 2 shots into this ST2, whereas the RD I'm only going to get 1 shot max. Ram that guy for some extra damage. I didn't realize he was completely in the open. If I would have realized that, then I wouldn't have gone for that shot, but... As you can see, I got a decent amount of assisting damage and then also pretty good damage for this play that I did. Alright, so let me show you the post-game stats real quick. So I had 5,900 scene damage, so I actually only hit 1 blind shot. 6,300 damage, 2,200 spotting, so 8.5k combined. Top on XP, obviously. Went 13 for 18 in shots, and I went even on credits. And this battle was only 5 minutes, which is pretty crazy. This isn't how battles usually will play out on this map. But this play where you go in the city here especially is very useful. This play here is kind of more niche, but it is something that you should have in your repertoire. It can sometimes be helpful. You can get a ton of spotting for it. So anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.